Welcome back to BrighterBee Live Learning X Korea 2023. Before we begin, let me introduce myself to you all. My name is Joey. I'm the moderator and facilitator for the BrighterBee team for today's live session. Live Learning X Korea has been set up by the BrighterBee team to enhance and grow your potential by providing opportunities for career growth and collaborations with top organizations. Whether you are a university student or an employee, you can always look forward to prepare yourself towards the career path you have set in mind. Today, we will discover and get to know about Sertis Company Limited. You will all be introduced to the job opportunities, the organization itself, and the career opportunities in this company. Today, it is our honor to have Ms. Jennifer Hoygaard, or Ms. Jen, the Talent Acquisition Specialist, and Mr. Piranat Muthutanon, or Mr. PP, the Senior Data Analyst, joining us today. All right, let's walk you through the 5 main topics that we will be talking about today. Firstly, we will get to know about the company overview. Secondly, we'll get to know in depth about what Sertis does or what Sertis is as a company. Thirdly, we'll look into the job opportunities and the job descriptions available. And fourth, we will look into something a little interesting, the benefits and perks working in this company. Last but not least, we will look into the career path working with Sertis. All right, but before we begin today's interview session, let me remind all of you that you may send in your questions to our guest expert through the chat box, and our BrighterBee team will collect your questions and we'll answer them together during the Q&A session. So without further ado, let us give a warm welcome to Ms. Jen and Mr. PP. Sawasdee krab. Good morning. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
I have a lot of questions. We have prepared a lot of questions for the both of you. Are you both ready to answer them together with us?
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with our first topic of the day. Today, let's talk about the company overview. What exactly does Sertis does, and what are the products and services that you guys offer?
Sure. So Sertis, we are a data AI consultancy here in Thailand, and we help build solutions for clients using data science, data engineering, and data analytics. And some of our services also include big data infrastructure, also other consultations, and then also in blockchain. Mm-hmm. And so we're also partnered with AWS. We're also with cloud and Azure as well. Mm-hmm.
So as we have heard about Sertis, I believe that Sertis is a company that many people who have been studying about engineering or data would be very familiar with this company. I've asked my friends, they all know about Sertis. But today we'll dive into a deeper, we'll get to know more about Sertis coming from the both of you. So let's move on to our next question. Can you give us some examples of your work collaboration? As you have mentioned, you have worked with certain companies as well.
Yeah, so we're also working in a lot of different industries. We're in FMCG, we're in retail, we're in banking, agriculture, oil and gas. So an example would be with, we're working with PTT, which is an oil and gas conglomerate here in Thailand. And we're developing a smart energy platform with them, where we help optimize our electricity management using AI and blockchain technologies. And we're also working with CPF, which is an agro-industrial and food business here in Thailand, on a smart farm management platform. And this helps build business efficiency, improve their efficiency, safety standards, and also product quality within the farms, right? And then we also working with AirAsia, which was an AI-powered face recognition system, where we launched Sertis Face Scan. And this is to test face recognition in boarding systems in the international airports in Malaysia.
Wow, these companies are very well known, and to know that Sertis is collaborating with many leading companies in Thailand and also with companies abroad as well. So you've mentioned that you've worked with AirAsia, Autotor, as well as Enco or CPF. These are definitely companies that our audiences would know about. Well, now that we have seen an overview of Sertis, let's dive into what Sertis is as a company. So my next question is also for you. What is the organizational structure of your company, and how many employees do you currently have?
Sure. So we're not a typical like traditional company. I would say we have like a very much like a startup environment in a way. We're a flat organizational structure, and so where there's less layers of management, and it also gives our employees freedom to be part of the decision-making process, which also helps with their work and gives them motivation and satisfaction in their work.
Right.
And so and for our vision, so we try to empower people and organizations with machine intelligence. And our mission is to create safe machine intelligence and transform industries' best interests at heart. And then our company structure, as we know, is the flat organizational, and we have about 140 employees now.
Oh, we can see from the slides that you have 140 employees, and you guys actually call the people in this company as Sertisans.
Sertisans, yes. And we have 10 nationalities in the company.
10 nationalities. Are they all working in Thailand?
Yes, everybody is working in Thailand.
That's very interesting. I believe that actually when I saw the slides and I saw the word Sertisans, I was a bit confused, but it actually linked to the word citizens, right?
Yes, exactly. That's really where it came
Sertis
from.
and citizens merged together.
Oh, nice catch.
Thank you.
That was good. Yeah.
All right. My next question is something I believe that a lot of our audience would want to know. So coming from an employee yourself working in this company, what are your thoughts and perspective of the organization?
Right. So I think some of the great things about Sertis is that we trust and we give accountability and ownership over their work to the employees, which then develops their character, which then develops career development as well, right? And then, of course, flexibility, not just in the days of working or in the hours, but mostly in the work and business in the tech industry, which is forever changing. So what we try to do is take those opportunities and try to adapt it into and implement it into our daily work as well. Right? And then, of course, diversity. So we bring people from all over the world to come work with us and having different perspectives, different ideas, and coming together and being able to come up with innovative ideas and greater collaboration. So.
Wow. Flexibility, diversity, career development, and accountability of ownership. I believe that these are not just your perspective, it's definitely something everyone that's working here would see. And I myself, when I walked into this office, I felt it's a very cozy environment, and I believe that everyone working here would feel the same. And with the flexibility of the working hours, that's something very catchy. I believe a lot of people would want to know more about Sertis. Before we move on, let's ask Mr. PP's perspective on the organization.
Well, sure. To add up with Jen, like in my point of view, it's kind of like here's a place, like get great place to grow, like for growing, like because for our team we have a lot of young talent, and like it's quite energetic and fun, like to see them growing, and with the company's environment, like everyone in the company like willing to help, and they are like expert in various fields. So whenever we have like any problem, like we know that there's a guy in the company that can like help us do something about it. Yeah.
So with the diversity and as well as the young talents, you can see the energy of constant improvement, not just within individual, but you're helping the people in the company improve as well. That's the vibe that I have got when I talk to you guys.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. All right. The next question is for Ms. Jennifer. Could you discuss and share with us about the organization growth and progress?
Yeah, so we have been around for over 8 years now. We started off in a company of 4 people, and now we've gone up to 140 employees. So it's been a nice growth. We've gone from a startup to a mid-sized company. And it's also actually a reflection to how the tech industry is doing here in Thailand, in Bangkok specifically, where data analytics and data science has been growing exponentially. So that's pretty neat to see that part of it. We are growing, we are hiring, we are always hiring actually. So that's also a great indication of how good the company is doing and with the clients that we're working with. So.
Apart from seeing the reflection of how the tech industry or data industry in Thailand has been improving over the years, I think that what's very essential and personal to me is that seeing all the workers or employees coming into Sertis, be it for more than 8 years or less than 8 years, they're constantly improving and they're getting something from Sertis.
Absolutely.
That is something that you guys are trying to provide for your employees as well, right?
Yes, we do have, of course, learning support. We do encourage that. That's actually part of our core values that we'll speak about a little bit later. But yeah, so learning is actually a really big thing for us here at Sertis.
All right. Now that we have talked about Sertis overview and going in depth into Sertis, I think it's time for the topic that a lot of you are waiting for, and that is our job openings here and the job descriptions as well. All right. Could you share with us about the jobs and the that the organization is trying to fill at the moment?
Yeah, so we have tech positions open and we have non-tech. Of course, so please go to our website if you want to look more in depth in our skills and requirements, our website, or you can also look at the BrighterBee platform. And so what we have open right now, we have the data engineer position. So I'll highlight 5 of these positions now. Full-time position, working in hybrid, and 2+ years of experience. We're looking for data engineers and senior data engineers, but of course associate level is acceptable, and at least with a bachelor's degree. So what we're looking at is designing and building and maintaining our data infrastructures, working with cloud platforms like AWS, GCP, and Azure, of course. And then we have for site reliability engineers, which is our next job here. It's also a full-time and hybrid working, 2+ years of experience with a bachelor's degree as well. And with this position, the customers, we try to have customers' products that are reliable, scalable, and performing. And we try to monitor and maintain the systems with troubleshooting and resolving any of the issues. And this team loves to automate all things. Okay. And then we have our next position, which is the data and technology consultant position, full-time as well. Hybrid working, and 3+ years of experience with at least a bachelor's degree. So this consultant is basically the bridge between Sertis and the client, where they help with leading the proposals, the implementation, and maintenance of at least one of the client solutions. And they work in different solutions in between cloud migrations, data lakes, data warehouse, BI, and also any analytics and AI. And then the next one would be for the software engineering tech lead. So this is also full-time, hybrid position, 7+ years of experience. For this position, we're looking for someone then to work on internal and external projects and designing the overall solutions, right? And then also having solutions that are easily deployable and user-friendly, but also managing a small team within our software engineering team. So helping with software engineering best practices, doing code reviews, that kind of thing. And then of course, technical guidance for sure, but also loves to continue coding.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then for our last one, we have our BD intern position. So for our BD intern, it's a paid internship where they are currently pursuing the bachelor's degree in any university. And so our interns would shadow the BD teams. They'll actually do a lot of market research for our internal projects, for our external projects. So they really get hands-on experience with seeing how business works with technologies, especially technologies that we're using, and how we work with the client, but also how we work internally with our tech teams.
All right. So these are the 5 positions available. Mr. PP, would you like to talk more about your position and job description as well?
Yeah, well, okay, let's bring up the slide. Yeah, we also got the another, I might say the highlight one for today.
The highlight.
Yeah. We have the senior data analyst, which is the also full-time and hybrid job. Yeah, we're looking for someone with 5+ years of experience, and all background are welcome. Because in our team we have people from different background, from IT to economics, or someone with marketing major, yeah, or kind of business major, something like that. Yeah, for the job overview, this position, the main idea is to produce the insight from data to answer client question or like validate their assumption. Well, their responsibility would be like they have to work with client to define and consult the scope of work and like how this work gonna like, impact their business. And then like they have to come back to work with the team, like our DA team to like get the job done and like make sure that the quality is like meet our standard. Yeah, and like for the skill, we gonna looking for someone who have, yeah, sure, we gonna need the SQL skills, which is like I think is the baseline. It's the baseline of the like data career today. Yeah, and like some database knowledge would be great, and some BI tool experience would be get plus. And but like we gonna need someone who like surely have the business domain knowledge. Yeah.
All right. A total of 6 open positions at the moment with 1 featured position. I have a personal question, as you have mentioned about how there are requirements for each position. Is there any specific people that you are looking for, or which faculty do they have to graduate from in order to work for Sertis?
A lot of it is varied, as PP has mentioned. We come from all different backgrounds. We don't filter out too much of it. We try to see what they can bring into the company with their own faculty that they've been in. A lot of it is computer science, obviously. But then we also have a lot of different kinds of people coming in with their backgrounds too.
Like-
so it's acceptable in that sense.
Yeah, like most of the time, like for the junior position, we just like looking for someone who are passionate with the data and like, you know, the one who can learn. Yeah.
So would you say if someone who has not graduated from computer science background or in this field and they would like to register and sign up to work with Sertis, is there any on-job trainings, or would there be any trainings for them to develop their skills into the position that they have signed up for?
Yeah, so we do have training as well. What we do would we like to see, and I think would be a major plus, is if they actually work in some maybe extracurricular projects, something that's already data infused, right? So any data projects that they've done, software engineering, maybe if they built a website of some sort, anything that's kind of related to that you can see that they've done something outside of what they're in their studies, right? That can be related to data.
What would you both say is an important mindset, or is there anything they can prepare specifically before coming to work with Sertis?
Preparation.
Yeah, quite a okay. Well, for me, it's like you have to be like ready to like tackle anything that like comes to you. Cause like yeah, we since we work with the, as you mentioned, the like well-known company, well they have done a lot with the data, so like they're gonna like expect the high quality of work. Yeah, so like you're gonna work with like kind of high pressure, and yeah, we have the like working standard. So yeah.
Ready to tackle.
Yes.
How about for you?
I would say going off of what PP said, also taking on the challenges, ready to tackle anything that comes up. You have to have a personality that can take on multitask really across different things. You're not just doing what's on the job description, but you're also taking on other tasks to do, which would also help with your career development. It's a huge learning curve, I would say.
All right. I believe that in general, having an open mind and always willing to learn is something important. All right. As you have mentioned the 6 careers and the positions available, would it be okay if we went back to the slides again and go in depth a little bit, just so when our audience would like to go into our website, they could easily remember. I think a lot of them are actually taking notes, but maybe the slides could help them. If we could go back to the slides and recap and summarize the 6 positions again.
Okay.
All right, can we have the slides for the 6 positions for today? just a quick recap before we move on to our next topic.
Okay, so here we have the data engineer position. Again, we have for 2+ years of experience. We have the site reliability engineer that we're looking at 2+ years as well. Data and technology consultant at 3+ years of experience. Then the software engineer tech lead, 7+ years of experience there, and our BD intern, which is a paid internship. And also for the interns, we are looking all year round for interns.
Okay. Then we have the senior
Yeah,
data
and yeah, also the for senior data analyst, we for someone with like 5+ year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. To recap our 6 positions for this company that are open to register, apart from the part-time paid internship that would be all year round, we have data engineers, site reliability engineers, data and technology consultant, software engineering tech lead, and business development internship. And last but not least, we have our senior data analyst. All right.
And just to tack on to that as well, we do have other positions open. We have plenty open on our website. So just go to our careers page and just check this out.
All right. It's amazing. We got to hear directly from our talent acquisition specialist as well as our senior data analyst about the amazing jobs and opportunities. As they have mentioned, you can feel free to visit their website as well as our BrighterBee's platform at worldwideweb.iris.brighterbee-learning.com to look into the job openings and the job descriptions that you feel is a fit for you to sign up for. All right, let's move on to the next topic for today, something that definitely a lot of people are wondering how it is working in this company, and that is the perks and benefits of this company.
Favorite part.
The favorite part. All right, Ms. Jennifer, what are your company's employee welfare policies? Could you share with us about them?
Yeah, so our culture essentially really runs on nice people who just happen to be smart. We're basically a lively bunch of people who are very passionate about data. We want to see how data can change the world, right? We thrive on diversity and innovative approaches. We are agile, where we collaborate, and we're in a fast-paced environment, of course. And I guess the thing that defines our culture would be our core values of Home Run. So Home Run is an acronym for helpful, we're open, we're very modest, we're ethical, resourceful, understanding, and of course, lastly, and most importantly, new learning.
All right. What would you say is, what kind of activities within the organizations do you guys usually set up?
Yeah, so life at Sertis is a pretty fun one, actually. So as I said, we're a lively group of people. We do have on the, I guess, technical side and stuff, we would do the learning sessions. We have learning sessions within the teams, or we've even had learning sessions across teams. We've also had parties. We're pretty big on our Sertis parties. And then we also have our team activities, some of our team activities where we have our internal team activities, but we also do collaboration with other teams in some activities too.
All right. I really like how the core value was the initials of the core value is Home Run. So it's helpful, open, modest, ethical, resourceful, understanding, and new learning. Could you explain to us how this came up, how it was initially came up from the word home run? Was it just a group of random words added together, or is it something that is there any personal level to the message?
Good question. Actually, our CEO came up with home run, and it comes out very well. It's I don't know if you're familiar with baseball, an American sport, but it's actually a pretty great acronym for them. People can understand it and just really remember home run in itself. So he's the one that came up with home run, and it's stuck with us ever since for 8 years now.
The logo is pretty nice as well. It reminds me of how, as you said, it's the term from the baseball, home run, and it's something that it's a core value that would be easily invested in us when we want to work here. It's not just something that they are looking for, but it's something that as an employee you would get out of working from here. And I especially like how the word open, because it feels like wherever you go, be it working with Sertis or working at anywhere, having an open mindset, having an open mind would definitely benefit you and benefit the company.
Exactly, and this is why I say when we have our international employees, right? So we're very eager to be more open to new ideas, and so of course it goes with our core values.
So what would you say is the differences between, with the diversity of the people working in this company, what would you say is the differences between the mindset or the way of working between foreign workers and local workers? For them to be able to collaborate and also have the same vision, I believe that there are some differences, but how do they make it work?
Yeah, so actually in our interview process, we have our culture ad interview where we actually evaluate based on our core values on home run. So that actually exemplifies how our teams work together, right? And how we think, how we process. And so it actually binds us closer, binds us together just because we have the same core values. We have the same way of thinking or being able to collaborate better. And as I mentioned, if you're in a diverse environment, you're actually able to come up with better ideas and are more inclined to be more have empathy and being able to collaborate in that sense.
So all of the employees working for Sertis are all in Thailand right now.
Correct, yes.
So if let's say there are employees from overseas that would want to work for Sertis, is there a way to create a hybrid environment, or are they able to work overseas?
At the moment, we are not offering remote work. However, as an international, you come work here. You are based in Bangkok, but as I said, we do have a hybrid working environment. So you are able to come to the office twice a week, and then if you want to go, I don't know, live somewhere for maybe a week or live somewhere else and then come back to the office 2 times a week, then that's fine too.
With the flexibility of
Yes.
the working schedule here, I believe it's very tempting. I believe a lot of our audience would want to work here.
Right.
So my next question is for Mr. PP. Could you share with us the activities from your team?
Yeah, sure. Well, we got the team activity like at least once a month since the company pay for that. Yeah, I think Jen didn't mention that, right?
Yeah.
Because like we have the like budgeting for the team activities. Yeah, so like we use it. Yeah, and we also like go to the like badminton like twice a week. Yeah, for our team, and also there's sometimes that like people from the other teams join us as well, because like we have the big group. Yeah, and then we have like few day trip from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, actually. So yes, we do have a budget for our teams and their team activities once a month. And then we also have our company trips as well. But we also have Sertis clubs where we have badminton, we have football. What else do we have? We have plenty of stuff. Running club we've had. There's plenty of smaller clubs within the company that you can take part in.
Would you say throughout the whole year, if you were to create activities for every month, what is the reason behind it? Is it for the companies to stay cohesive, or is it just because there is budget, or is there any specific reasons for all these benefits and perks for our employees?
Well, to be more engaged, team engagement, and especially now that we're working in a hybrid environment, it's more important to make sure that we keep that engagement alive here and well. So we try to have that at least once a month. A lot of teams like to meet up every Friday and have drinks. I mean, we're in the center of Bangkok, so you have so much to do here. We can go to restaurants here. We go to some smaller bars. So a lot of the teams also like to just get together on Friday nights, or even here in the office.
So throughout the years that the both of you has worked here, of all the activities that you have joined and participated, which would you say is your favorite? We can start with Mr. P.
Well, I might say the like service party, like but like we go big every time. Like we have it like at least like once a month for, I'm not sure, like 4 or 5 months in a row from last year till like last week.
Wow.
We just had one last week. Yeah, the last week was like my favorite one. Yeah, because it also like the New Year party for
A good
yeah,
start for the
company,
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite?
I would say Sertis Day Party.
Sertis Day Party. What do you guys do?
So I say that because it is the founding day of Sertis. We usually have it the first week of July, and so we have a big party here, and we do like dance competition. Well, every party we have like dance
Yeah.
competitions, we have games that we play, and of course we have like the lottery, like we have prizes that we give out. So it's a lot of fun. But Sertis Day is it's a little bit more special just because, it's another year that we've been in business and we're just celebrating that.
With all the activities and all the fun engagement sessions that you have mentioned, I believe a lot of the audiences would want to join us. But as the employee working here, do you have any suggestions for our audience to balance their work and their enjoyment time or their free time with you guys?
No, I mean, of course, it's not all work and all play either, right? So, of course, we do manage our day-to-day responsibilities, and then we do have our team activities that we try to balance out as well. We don't have it every day. Of course, we need to focus on work, but we do try to keep that engagement. We want to make sure that everybody is pretty well balanced, not just in work, but also outside of work with your team members.
So from hearing from you guys, having these engagement parties is very essential because working in a very well-known company, definitely there are challenges and it's a very fast-paced environment. With these activities, it could help ease our challenges because throughout the day we would find a lot of things that we have to tackle with speed.
Right.
So what would you say is the biggest challenge working in this company and how do you overcome it?
What would you say is the biggest challenge?
Or it could be a challenge that you feel a lot of the employees are facing and you have seen them grow throughout the years and how did they overcome it?
I think, go ahead, baby,
Yeah,
sorry.
well, for me, it's like, well, first we have the work from home since COVID, right? So like that's the first challenge that like we have to keep the team communicate, like channel, like if people have anything like and they are working from home, well, we have to find a way to like sense that or feel that like that if there's something that happened to our team member, like that's the challenge that like it's hard to know. So like we try to like keep in touch with them with like more activities, more like kind of team like chill talking session or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we try to encourage more of, since in the people ops team as well. So we try to focus more on like engagement, as I said. There could be possible burnouts. So just trying to keep in touch and having like a pulse, like a monthly pulse with our employees, making sure that everybody's okay in that sense. And then of course creating all the activities around it. So that would be the major challenge, I would say, too, at the moment.
Wow. So working anywhere comes with challenges, and I believe that with challenges and burnouts, it's really, really possible. So it's essential to keep in touch, to always have talk sessions or engagement parties. These are ways where we can identify if there are any issues. Also, opening channels for people to speak out and speak up with whatever they feel. I think, plus with the diversity and the open-mindedness of our employees here, everyone is free to talk about their issues or they feel that they are facing, or it could be about work environment. Let's say if they think that something in their company is not doing well, they are encouraged to speak up
Exactly.
as well.
Yes, that's something that we do pride ourselves in as well, to be able to do that.
All right. Now that we have heard from the two of our talents and our employees from Sertis, let's move on to the next and the last topic for today. Let's discuss about the career path a little. All right, Ms. Jennifer, could you share with us about the career path working here at Sertis?
Yeah, so for our career path, we have basically two career paths available. We have management and the non-management side. So we know that maybe some people don't want to go into the management and manage teams, so that's why we've come up with the non-management part, where it could be more of like, example, a tech lead, where they're just still focused on the technical side of things, but also helping with managing maybe a smaller team, but not in the grander scheme of like a manager position. So those are the two tracks that we have available at the moment.
So with the 6 positions that you have mentioned, and also there's a lot more, of course, in the company that are open, what would you say, how would you divide the 6 positions into management or non-management?
We don't have them specifically divided. Once you like go into senior position, then you have the choice whether you want to go into the management side or into the non. So it's not specifically put into those 2 categories just yet.
All right. So maybe before we move on, you have mentioned that there are 6 main positions open right now. Is there any other positions that you would want to talk about right here with us that maybe they could look into from your website?
So positions we have open, I would say we have in data analytics. Yes, we have. If you want to explain them, just one of them.
Just like want to mention that like we have multiple positions open for the data analytics team.
Site reliability, as mentioned, data engineering. We're starting to open again data science. We have software engineers as well. QA tech lead most likely opening soon. People ops, we have a talent acquisition open there, and also an HR manager position. On operations side, we have a data and privacy officer as well. I think those are, just to name a few, I would say those are the ones that come up right now.
So apart from full-time employment, is there any other internship apart from business development?
At the moment, we don't have any other internships open, but in the past, we've had data science, AI internships open, and even software engineering as well. So look for those later. We'll probably be opening those pretty soon again.
All right. Stay tuned for more opening positions from Sertis. All right. It is now time for the Q&A session, and our learners have sent in a few questions they would like to ask you today. Are you ready to answer our questions from our audiences?
Sure, let's go. Hi, audience.
Let's start with the first question for today. All right, during the talent war, especially in tech and data, how did Sertis attract talent?
Yeah, so for us, it's just basically staying up to date with the latest technologies and trying to get into interesting projects. And of course, the learning curve here, just trying to build a good learning support in the company to where people can come, employees can come and learn as you train as well. So I know it's pretty tough right now because we are a tech company and there's a lot of tech companies here in Thailand. But I would say that maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but we are, AI company, data and science and AI company, pioneering company here in Thailand. So we're pretty known across Thailand. And so I think that it has been pretty tough seeing other companies come up as well, consulting companies come up with the same, in the same industry, right? But I would say that sets us apart is the people that we bring in, and also the technologies that we're using as well.
Well, with this question, I actually came up with something I'm curious about. What do you think working with an AI or data company, what do you think keeping up or following the latest trend, how would that benefit us?
Yeah, so I think because here in Southeast Asia, it still seems that is something new, right? So we're trying to follow suit of what's happening in Europe, what's happening in the US as well, and just looking at those examples and trying to bring that into Southeast Asia and seeing what it can possibly do. So I think that actually helps a lot with what's around in Asia at the moment.
All right, let's move on to the second question of the day. All right, what attitude does Sertis expect from young tech employees? As you mentioned, we're receiving a lot of young talents throughout the years, right? So for those young tech employees who want to join the company, is there any specific attitude that you would want to share and let them be aware of?
Yeah, I guess what we look for is drive, ambition, nice personality, and someone who can initiate things like projects or initiate new tasks to do. Um, and just the wanting to be in data, passion about data. Pretty much, I would say those would be characteristics.
Having the drive, having an ambition, and to initiate tasks are
Mm.
definitely important. Something I'm also curious about, coming from the HR department yourself, how would you say, is there any specific goals or plannings for our employees if they reach out to you saying that, okay, over the next few years, I would like to see myself working as or developing into a higher position? Do we have certain plans for them?
Yeah, we're developing that right now, trying to develop better learning plans here at Sertis. Right now, it is team-based, so we do have our managers focus on their employees and how they want to develop their careers. We do have 2 times of year we have reviews, where then, of course, we review with our employees where they want to go, what they want to do, and we have one-to-ones every month as well. So we try to keep track of what our employees want to do for their future.
Right. Okay, let's move on to our third question. We have a few questions coming in from our audiences at home. All right. Definitely working for this company, you would need to send in your resume or profile. So our audience would like to know what kind of resume or profile that has a higher possibility to attract Certis HR.
Yeah, so have a summary about yourself. Be human. I feel like a lot of the times we use these very, very strong technical or terms that can kind of might just scare people a bit, but just to be a little bit more human, put a personal summary of yourself, your hobbies, your interests, show what projects you've been a part of, not just what skills you have, but maybe things that you've done, extracurricular things, even as an fresh grad would be mostly important. But even as someone that comes in the mid-level or senior level, maybe you've done other projects outside. So something that, and even in your job, like working on projects, what are the results of that? I would say. So a nice clean resume.
So is it safe to say that with a resume without background knowledge of computer science or engineering, that they are still able to apply?
Yes, you're still able to apply, absolutely. Although we would prefer that they would be more in the tech industry. But again, if you do have a different background, then let us know why you want to be in data. What are you trying to do with data? Or if you've worked on some projects outside of that.
Okay. So apart from what you want to achieve, what you want to learn from this company, is it important to also specify what we want to bring for the company?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. What value, not just the value that they would bring to the company, but what value we would give them. It's it's a conversation that you have to have with the person that wants to apply to the position. Not only what they can bring to us, but we also want to share with them what we can give them.
Right.
What are our perks? What are our benefits? What can we offer them to help them grow in their career development?
Sounds like a win-win situation where
Absolutely.
both parties will be able to achieve something out of one another. It's
Exactly.
a very healthy environment, and I wouldn't say it's a competitive environment. I feel like, from my perspective, it's a very healthy competition.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's how we see it. Everybody in the company is just very, like I said, very nice people who just happen to be smart. I know that sounds a little cliche, but it's actually true. So we just want to know that you have the drive, that you have the personality and ambition to just work in a data company, tech company, you know. So we try to keep it very easygoing. Even from the way that we dress in the office, we're very casual. I mean, we don't wear shoes in the office. So it kind of keeps you grounded, I would say. But yeah, so that's the kind of environment that we try to display here.
All right, before we move on to the next question, be sure to polish your resume, take down the notes that Ms. Jennifer has given us. Definitely submit your application and they will look into your resume. All right, the next question for today. What are Certis' main pros and cons of the hybrid working model? As you have mentioned that it is a hybrid working environment. Could you discuss with us about the pros and cons working here?
Yeah, sure. Like For the pro and cons, okay, first we have like the extra time both before and after work, right? Cause like we don't have to sit in the car and like stay in the Bangkok's traffic, like since we're in the CBD, so like the traffic in the morning is quite bad. So like well, since they have extra time, well they can like wake up early and do something. Some of our team member like love to do like fitness in the morning, and then like they go back to work. Yeah, because they have like time for that, and also the for the after work they can like have another activities because like they don't have to like sit another hours or two in the like road to on their way back home. But like for cons, well, since we like work hybrid, yeah, we don't have like a chance to like meet lots of people. Well, sitting at the like just in front of the computer would be like sometimes kind of boring. So yeah, we gonna have to like have some additional activities for like for us to like meet others. Yeah, that's like kind of main point con that I can think of.
Would you say having extra time is considered as a con as well? For certain times where if you are unable to balance your work and extra time, would that be an issue?
Yeah, sometimes it's gonna like lead to kind of burnout things. But yeah, I think well like since now we have like managed it well and like everything goes like in the right path. So yeah, it's not happened just yet. Yeah, and we trying to prevent it as well.
What would you say for the both of you is the best way, maybe from your perspective or your experience, is the best way to get out of a burnout?
Well, I think first you have to like jump in the like environment that you like love to work with first. That gonna like prolong the time before you're gonna burn out. Yeah, if like if you like the job, yeah, you don't feel like you're doing the job. Yeah.
What about for you?
I think being in your environment, whether you like working in the office or if you like working in a cafe. I love working in cafes. I love working in the office, but I feel most comfortable when I'm working in the cafe where I have a nice coffee and working on my tasks. But then also making sure that you take at least 5 or 10 minutes out of the hour and just meditate or close your eyes for at least 5 minutes, keeping conscious of that. So that way you're not looking at a screen the full 8 hours. You want to make sure that you're taking time off at least maybe 2 or 3 minutes, if that, an hour. And then making sure you're having your lunch. I think that's super important. You don't want to have your lunch in front of a screen. You want to make sure that you go out. We have, like I said, we have a lot of places around here that we can go eat. So just taking time off from that, using that lunchtime to just kind of block away everything else for the time being and just, eat and be in the moment.
Yeah, like since we like mentioned about the time off, like since our company also like aware of that, so we provide some day off. So like yeah, I always encourage my team member to like use it, like yeah, to like get away from their work for some times. That helps a lot.
Yeah, and then also I guess we didn't really get to talk about the benefits, but we do have the 15 days vacation and 5 days personal leave as well. And then we have our learning support, as I meant earlier, that we support any kind of learning, from taking classes, from going back to school, or even our hobbies. We have a support for hobbies that you want to get into. If you want to do martial arts, we do support that at least to give you a budget once a month.
Yeah, my team also do the badminton class with this budget.
Yeah. And then also for on the screen, as you see, the 15 days annual leave and 5 days personal leave, but we provide the Provident Fund as well, and learning support, as I mentioned. And then we also have a Sertis library.
Where is that?
So we have it downstairs. We have a Sertis library where our employees can go buy books, and then we actually refund them for the books. They read their book, whatever book they like, any book. and then they have to put it back into the Sertis library and basically share the knowledge across the company. So we have a very good Sertis library here where you can check in and check out any of the books you like. And I think there was another slide, the Sertis, right. Oh yeah, and so for our health as well, we have the health insurance, dental and eye care. We have an annual health checkup, and our fitness support, which we are collaborating with Virgin Active,
Wow.
and we have a pretty decent discount with them. So it's right next door actually. So there's no excuse of not going because you have it next door, and we have a really nice partnership with them with a great discount. So, and a lot of our citizens actually go to Virgin Active as well. So.
These are very eye-catching. Going back to the perks makes me feel very relieved that working in such a competitive company, there is also a lot of encouragement to take time off, to take time for yourself, spending time alone to replenish your energy, to avoid burnout. And the things that you both have mentioned are, it sounds very simple, but they are very essential.
Right, yes, and that's a major key, right? Especially now that we are working in a hybrid environment, and how to keep connected really is essentially true.
All right, we now have time for just one last question. Let's see our final question for today. All right, the last question. If there is a possibility to work with Sertis, what kind of challenges should candidates be prepared for?
Well, okay, so for this question, like I think I have mentioned a little about this, right? Because like we have worked with the well-known company, and like they have done a lot with the data. They may even like hire another consulting company to work with them. They have like kind of wider view of the like business use case for the data. So like they gonna expecting more like the best quality, the cutting edge solution and technologies. Yeah, I think that's the challenge of the team to like provide the best solution that like meet client standard, and like also like that we able to implement it. Yeah, I think that's the like most challenge that we have right now. But like if I have to talk bit about the like other challenge, it would be like for the growing, because like since we are in the I might say the always growing technology field. So like you have to like keep learning. So like if you stop for like a week or maybe a month, well, maybe something new come up and like you just fall behind.
Also, one of the main core values, new learning, being
Yeah.
open. Following trends, as you mentioned, is also something to keep in mind. So always follow what is upcoming, what is new, to stay updated.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much to Ms. Jennifer and Mr. PP for answering our Q&A session. All right, we now have come to the end of today's live session. And I've got to say, we discovered a lot of new information as well as new insights for Sertis as a whole. So for those of you who are interested and have been taking notes with us at home, look no further. You can now submit your job applications to our BrighterBee's platform at worldwideweb.iris.brighterbe-learning.com to be a part of Sertis team and contribute to their shared success. All right. Thank you once again to Mr. PP and Ms. Jennifer for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you so much for having us, and appreciate all the questions.
Thank you for answering our questions and answering our questions from our audiences as well.
Awesome.
I hope to work with you guys in the future again.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
As always, do not miss out on amazing events like this. Be in the loop with BrighterBee Live Learning X Korea 2023 on BrighterBee's YouTube channel. All right. เอาแล้วนะครับทุกท่านที่ได้มารับฟังกันในวันนี้นะครับก็ผมเชื่อว่าทุกคนสนใจแล้วก็อยากจะสมัครเข้ามาในองค์กรนี้แน่นอนนะครับซึ่งตอนนี้นะครับทุกท่านสามารถร่วมเป็นส่วนหนึ่งและเติบโตไปพร้อมกับองค์กรนี้ได้นะครับโดยทุกท่านสามารถสมัครงานเข้ามาได้ผ่านแพลตฟอร์ม BrighterBee นะครับเพียงเข้าสู่เว็บ www.iris.brighterbe-learning.com นะครับเจอไลฟ์ล่าสุดนะครับของเราซึ่งอย่างของวันนี้นะครับก็จะเป็น Live Learning ของ Sertis นะครับ ถ้าเรากดเข้าไปในลิงก์นั้นนะครับเราสามารถเลื่อนลงไปได้นะครับจะมี4ขั้นตอนง่ายๆนะครับ Join Life Career Build Your Profile Up and Reskill Now and Apply for Dream Job นะครับ4ขั้นตอนง่ายๆนะครับสู่การได้งานในฝันนะครับทุกท่านสามารถลงทะเบียนรับชมไลฟ์สร้างโปรไฟล์ของคุณและสามารถ up skill กับ BrighterBee ได้ผ่านคอร์สเรียนออนไลน์ต่างๆนะครับและสามารถสมัครงานในตำแหน่งงานและองค์กรที่คุณสนใจนะครับหลังจากนั้นนะครับสามารถเลื่อนลงไปได้ด้านล่างนะครับเราก็จะเจอโลโก้ของ Sertis นะครับสามารถคลิกเข้าไปได้เลยนะครับเอาแล้วนะครับพอเรากดเข้าไปใน Sertis ก็จะมีรายละเอียดอยู่ด้านล่างเลยนะครับสามารถดูรายละเอียดขั้นตอนแล้วก็ตำแหน่งของงานที่คุณสนใจแล้วก็กด click here to apply นะครับเพียงแค่นี้นะครับพอเข้าไปแล้วเราก็สามารถกรอกรายละเอียดของคุณนะครับพร้อมแนบเรซูเม่และส่งสมัครอย่างให้องค์กรนะครับและหลังจากนี้นะครับคุณก็จะได้ส่งการสมัครเรียบร้อยแล้วทีมงานของพวกเราก็จะส่งอีเมลไปให้คุณนะครับพร้อม assessment ในการทำการประเมินและทาง BrighterBee จะนำเรซูเม่พร้อมผลการประเมินของคุณนะครับส่งไปที่องค์กรเลยนะครับเอาแล้วนะครับก็จบไปแล้วในวันนี้นะครับโดยในเซสชันถัดไปนะครับกับ Life Learning X Career 2023นะครับเจอกันอีกทีตอน 14:00 นถึง 15:30 นนะครับพบกับคุณวริศดาสืบพันธ์วงศ์นะครับในหัวข้อ Business Fundamental Design Thinking นะครับรวมถึงเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของบริษัท Mitsuhara Group นะครับหรือที่ทุกท่านรู้จักในนาม Mitsumi นะครับผมเอาแล้วนะครับก่อนที่เราจะมาจากกันเราขอให้ทุกท่านมาสแกน QR Code บนหน้าจอนะครับเพื่อให้ฟีดแบ็กเพื่อให้ความพวกเราได้รับรู้ถึงฟีดแบ็กแล้วก็ทำให้ learning experience ของทุกท่านในอนาคตให้ดียิ่งขึ้นนะครับสำหรับวันนี้ผมและทีมงาน BrighterBee ต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนสวัสดีครับ